part-time seller on apps like Poshmark, eBay, and Depop. Here's what sold over the last week. I had a really great week. I sold a total of 14 items. 10 of those were on Poshmark, 3 on eBay, and 1 on Depop. Okay, before I get into what sold, you guys, having an automation tool is so crucial. I think that's why I'm having so many consistent sales, especially on Poshmark, because I use PrimeLister and it is constantly sharing my closet so that my items are at the top of anyone's searches. It is helping so much. If you want to try it out, there's a link in my bio and you can try it out and it will seriously change your business because it changed mine. So let's go ahead and get into what sold, starting on Poshmark. Had this dress in my closet forever. I am very glad to see it go. Be picky with Athleta. Make sure you're buying bigger sizes. And this one is a bigger size, but it is an older style, so that's why it sat for so long, but it still made me a profit. I took a chance with this item and it actually did pay off. It sold relatively quickly too. I found one singular comp for this and it sold similar to that comp I found, so I'm really happy with it. This is another good Poshmark sale because here I am getting rid of some older inventory again and making at least a decent profit on it. And this is an Anthropologie brand. It's kind of one of their random brands. They have so many. Make sure you are up to date, but make sure you're also checking comps on each piece. Funny enough, last week I sold a pair of Gymshark leggings. While doing so, I shaded this pair, but they did sell for me over the last week and it made me at least a couple bucks. Let me tell you guys what I did wrong here. First, random Anthropologie brand that I did not look up comps. I just knew it was an Anthropologie brand. 2, small size. 3, because I didn't check comps, I didn't know it was missing a belt. So I let these go for very inexpensive and they sat for a long time. But again, since PrimeLister is constantly sharing my items, it's still showing up at the top of searches and people don't necessarily know how long I have it listed for. This is part of a bundle. I sold 2 items in the bundle, so I'm splitting the profit and all the information. But this brand is sold at Revolve. I do believe it's sold other places as well. I wouldn't recommend picking it up, but if you see this brand, I would at least check comps. But more times than not, it is not something to pick up. This was from my own personal closet. This was the other item in this bundle. This is a pretty decent brand to look out for. Now, they are very wintry pajama pants that I have sold here. So they sat for a while. They did not sell last season, but they did sell this season. Madewell is a brand that I am not sure I'm going to be so eager to pick up anymore. First of all, I already checked comps, but these perfect vintage jeans have always done so well for me, but lately it has just gone so downhill. I think it's starting to get really oversaturated. These did finally sell after a little over 2 months for a profit, but again, I used to sell these for like between $60 and $70. I am stoked about this sale. It is my first time, one, finding figs and selling it. And I'm really hoping this person doesn't return it because I actually mismarked the size. She sent me a message and checked the measurements and she still wanted it, but I told her I would gladly accept the return if it doesn't fit. But this is just your reminder to always be double and triple checking what you're putting in your listings. Last Poshmark sale are these Athleta Attitude Pants. Athleta be picking up bigger sizes and more recent styles. I find that any sort of athletic pants from Athleta sell between $25 to $40. Moving on to eBay sales. This was a pure style-based pickup. It's vintage Talbots and it had a good fabric content and leopard print. It's very in style right now and they were wide leg pants, so they actually sold very quickly for a very good profit. St. John is a brand that you need to be picking up if you're not already. It sells for pretty good money and relatively quickly. Last eBay sale was this Ralph Lauren sweater. I starting this past season, but I'm starting to pick up more Ralph Lauren, especially for eBay. It seems to do really well there. And my one Depop sale of the week were these Free People lace legging tight type things, and it made me this much. This was a pretty good week for me. I had a lot of sales. I sold 14 items, which averages 2 sales per day, so that is fantastic in my books. Being just a part-time seller, it made me a total this week of $229.32. Average profit per item is $16.38.